Okay, let's do this.
We interrupt all radio and television programs for an indefinite period. Please keep your radio and television sets turned on. This is an emergency. I repeat, this is an emergency.
By direction of the President of the United States, in the interests of public safety, hereby proclaimed to be under martial law.
Ooh. Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update on Tuesday, February 19th, midnight, 2019. You're looking at the current GFS model, which is showing pile upon pile of snow in the Midwest, moving east into eastern Canada. Heads up, Virginia. I see a 23 in your future on the state line. Heads up, Southern Appalachia. All the way down in the Southwest is the best. Through Tucson, heavy snow covering your cactus. Do not despair. New CMIP6 data suggests an extended period of solar decline extending through 2100. You have entered the modern eddy minimum. It's okay, folks. Keep calm. It's snow time. Des Moines is inches away from breaking a snowfall record set the same time the year the Titanic sank. Well, can you smell the obfuscation from the truth? Do you know how many people know when that year was? They thought the Titanic sank 10 years ago when the movie came out. Des Moines could break the 107-year-old snowfall record this week. In 1912, 43.5 inches of snow fell in 40 days in Des Moines. Since January 11th, 37.4 inches covered Iowa's capital, according to the National Weather Service. By midweek, cute kids were looking up and overturning Des Moines' record for most snowfall in a 40-day period set the same year to the Titanic sank. Whew. Holy tink! I need a tramp stamp. Keep calm, it's boom time. We'll get there. We're going to keep that open. Residents dig out after record amount of snow in the Sierras. 3 to 5 feet falling everywhere. That's all I have to report. Crews and residents take advantage of a break in the weather Monday until they get buried again. Minneapolis, St. Paul sees the snowiest February on record this week. Here we are at NPR News. February snowfall record. Snow again. Wednesday, heavier weekend snow. This February is the wintry gift that keeps on giving. Soon to be the winteriest February ever on record at Twin Cities in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. Hey? Take a look. Right now they're sitting at the number 4 rank, 22 inches. 6 or more are predicted. Whew. That's going to take them off the map. It's a guarantee the Twin Cities are about to explode through record snow. Guaranteed. Madison, Wisconsin breaks daily snowfall record. More expected to make it above average season ever. Some schools delayed Monday following another record snowfall as this man exclusively eats at McDonald's. In what has been a year of seemingly unending McDonald's records, a month of abundant snowfall, a new daily snowfall record has been set. 5.4 inches of snow fell at the Madison Airport yesterday. Look how they wrote that. 5.4 inches of snow fell at the Madison Airport yesterday, beating out the old record of February 17th, 4.9 inches set back in 1975. 4.9 versus 5.4. Who's Al Gore? He's the new whore. New record snow. February 17th, 5.4. Beats out 4.9 Al Gore. Chris Reese. Heads up! Sprout some grains, man. The daily snowfall record was set yesterday with 5.4 inches of snow recorded at the airport, which isn't a schmerport. Look at the boner. It's almost like the hockey stick. We're going to cover that later. If you want to know about the hockey stick, we're about to shove it right up your arse. 46.4 inches of hockey stick. Right up your global warming purple. And that's not a schmerple. That's tonight's first boom. Hockey stick style. Hockey stick. Holy shit, 5 minutes in and I'm already hockey sticking it. I can't even believe it. Puff, puff, pass, yo. It's tonight's first snow boom. Satanic snow boom style. It's a boom to knowledge. And if you don't smoke the marijuana, well then you might as well be smoking the Krakatoa that will be about to blow up. We are entering the modern Eddie minimum, folks. For those of you that don't believe it, this is a mainstream graphic. Here we have the centennial minimum, cuddled lightly in these cycles. Cycles 9 through 14 encompass the centennial minimum. And here we are, cycle 24 through 39 in the modern Eddie super grand minima. Do you feel cuddled? Are you cuddling up to the fire? Are you in the mire? 46.4 inches of global warming hockey stick madness. Right up your Al Gore. Boom style. Holy macaroni. I better puff, puff, pass. At this rate, our season snowfall continues to climb. We're now at 46.4 inches of snow for the season, which is the reason to be believing. More snow on the way in the days ahead. We are very likely to surpass our seasonal average of 50.9 inches. 6 inches predicted in the next week. 50 inches is a seasonal average. I think GFS model future track. GFS model future track. GFS model future track. Somebody's smoking crack. GFS future track snow 4.8. Black River Falls. Camp Douglas 5. Watuma 5.3. Fond du Lac. You can suck crack 3.3. Madison 4. Al Gore's no whore 2.9 in Janesville. 3.8 in Monroe. Mineral Point. You get it. 5.4. 4.9 in Platteville. Dubuque. If you drink enough tequila, you will puke. 5.1. Prairie du Chien, Decorah, and Mora. 5.5. Al Gore's a horror. Did you ever put chocolate and cinnamon with the Shmora? Next snow likely to break the record that has stood since 1912. Heads up! Thank God they're not referring to Titanic or any other garbage. Des Moines, Iowa, check out this tweet from the National Weather Service. It's not a smurfus, it's a service. Des Moines, Iowa, currently 39.1 inches of snow since January 11. We could break our 40-day snowfall record of 43.5 inches set back in 1912. Then it would be swell with the snowfall expected Tuesday night and Wednesday, which could be your Schmensday, whatever that means. Des Moines, Iowa is likely to break the all-time record snow record that was a record back in 1912 when they made records. Is that when they made records? I don't even know what's going on. More snow, 4 to 6 inches expected Wednesday morning in northeast Iowa. Mason City, Algona, Smokabona, Waterloo, heads up. Cedar Rapids, Ottumwa. It's 4 to 6 everywhere. Holy shit. I used to bet 146 at the horse races. It's like I need to go bet 146 or something. What's going on? What's going on? Waterloo, snow fooling. We're getting another dump Tuesday, and Waterloo has broken some snowfall records. 2. Most of northeast Iowa will see anywhere between 4 to 6. 146 of snow tonight through Wednesday. If you're betting on the Sulkies, 1 with the 4-6 box. It means February is the snowiest of all time. 146 box, exact trifecta box of the months over, not yet. As of a total of 20.7 inches of snow has fallen in Waterloo since February 1st. That makes it the worst February ever. I hope you boxed it. Foot of snow hits Flagstaff. Holy that's Arizona, with more on the way this week. Look at how old that guy is. He must live there. If you're not in Florida and that old, you're in Arizona. And you're smoking a Bona. Probably not this guy. Anyway, he's got purple on. That's the new Schmerple. Andre Poltonucci, cross-country skiing with his Schmerple and the purple of the dog. Smoking the bone with his phone. Probably somewhere tucked in his pocket. Which is not a schmocket. Even as residents across northern Arizona work to dig out of about a foot of snow that fell Sunday night. More is on the way. I was just talking to the geezer, Mark Axon. We're going to get to more information from that. Now, Mark is down near Tucson, which is Fluxon. That's Tucson, if you got your shoes on. There's our shoes right there. Shoes are down here. Now, multiple events have already covered southern Arizona with snow this year, including the saguaro cactus. And it's coming back. And we're going to show you the model shortly. If you're less than 4'6", you're portly. Las Vegas snow, up to 2 inches of snow falls on strip. Have you ever stripped? I did. I used to do it when I was 20. Now, strippers, they make good money. I mean, $600 a night I would get, at least. It's not even that funny. And I would take all the girls home from Camden, across the bridge. Trust me, I was a good guy.
Ilona Carson, only on 13 Eyewitness News.
Holy macaroni. Ivona.
Mild weather in Nevada, parts of Las Vegas, even the Strip, waking up to as much as 2 inches of snow this morning. The city got hit with a surprise storm last night. The first time in more than a decade, Las Vegas Valley has seen enough snow for it to stick. High temperatures in Vegas are supposed to be in the mid to upper 40s this week, and the city could even get more snow
Oh, she just said
Wednesday.
stick. Since it could stick. I don't even know what that means, but I'm going to stick it. Let's pause this before some more nonsense happens. Falls on strip for the first time since the shtick. Las Vegas, Nevada. There was wild weather in Nevada. Parts of Las Vegas, including the Strip, were waking to as much as 2 inches of snow Monday morning. Now, this is the first time ever in a decade. This is the first time in a decade Las Vegas Valley has seen enough snow to shtick. Second time this February. Someone's lying. 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 Widespread snow returns to Idaho late Tuesday. That's your lose day. 3.1 McCall. 0.7 in Weiser. Is that even a total? 4.1 Idaho City. Holy. 4.8 Jordan Valley. Not a schmally. Boise, Idaho. It's quiet this morning across the region with dry northerly flow and pace. That's a disgrace. Northerly flow and pace. Ow! Are you packed? No, you're... Yeah, shh. Don't tell anyone. Don't. Shh. Shut up. Al's got a secret spot tonight. Generally, 1 to 3 inches of snow is expected in the upper valley through Thursday, which is your Schmers day. Here's Wednesday, 90%. Boom! Saturday, 70. Boom! Sunday, 70. Boom! That's your precipitation chances if you're in Idaho. And if I was Santa, I would say, ho, ho, ho! And if I was Steve Keeley, I would be whatever. Anyway, I do digress. You joined our channel at the wrong time. Or the right time. Snow leads to headaches, spin-outs, and swooshes. Rotterdam, New York. Some kids are being led by the hand willingly, some reluctantly, some are being raped by priests in the Roman Catholic Church. To lessons at Maple Skid. Man, I can't even keep this up. Snow leads to headaches, spinouts, and swooshes. It's all the Pope's fault. Connecting cousins Hannah Dollins and Scarsdale Ganush Renstick of Washington, D.C. are visiting the Pope during his 3-day holiday, and they're really excited to get their nuts jiggled. That's a secret boom. That's what comes, that's a secret boom that you get when you're 13 to 15. Secret boom. Don't tell the adults. 100 plus inches of snow so far put Buffalo 27 inches above normal. That's not a normal. This guy used to ride a horse, apparently. Look at that. Look at the bow in the leg. Holy macaroni. He's from Kansas or Colorado. Some 3.2 inches of fell late Sunday and early Monday put the city over the top. Right over the top of the horse. 100 plus inches of snow so far put Buffalo 27 inches above normal, which is not a schnormal. The Frontier High School student from Hamburg was the first day of winter break Monday. So he donned a Buffalo Bills winter cap and hooded his sweatshirt and Schmidt shirted it. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. But look at this. If you did mushrooms tonight, you could play with this graph all night. Holy shit. Look at it. How amazing it is. Oh my God. The story of this winter is what happened in late January, which is not a schmanuary. Look at this. Holy macaroni. Race to 100 inches. Oh my God. It's like I'm 3 again. TP Pignaro. It's late. Cold storm to bring significant snowfall. Difficult travel to southwestern U.S. late this week. A late week storm will, with a reinforced... Anyway, we'll play it. That was a power line burning the snow, and now it locked us up. We tried to show it to you. Ho, ho, ho it to you. Here's slippery travel through the four corners. And before this other thing kicks up, Outlook midweek, you're going to be tweaked. Let's open the image, and let's get rid of that. We did it! Snow in the northwest, which is the best. The northeast, the beast from the east is going to move over there. Moving that heavy swath through Canada. We're going to show it to you in a minute. I promise. Snow expected Wednesday. Winter storm watch issued for eastern PA. Heads up, Delmarva. Climate guy, you're going to get it. Trust me. I promised you. This is going to be the event to remember. And it's coming not even in September. That's the only month it rhymed. Frozen cat revived after being found in Montana snowbank. Look at this little baby. Look at my little baby. Would you just look at this little baby? This dead cat was found. They found this little dead cat. And then this cat was dead in Montana and with the snowball. And then they found the cat and then it was terrible. Boom! She made it. Yes! That's my little kitty. Oh, her name isn't even Schmitty. But it should be. Look at that little cat of 9 lives. Boom! Look at the little pink nose. God! Nobody knows how much I like cats. I used to hate cats. My whole life. I was 35, I still hated cats, and then I was getting off of cracks, and then I was out of the penitentiary, and then I'm living in this crack house across the street from this other crack house, and I'm sitting there one night, first time ever I ever slept without alcohol. And I'm sitting there, and I'm on the porch, it's like warm out, and I'm not going to jail anymore. And there's a cat across the street going, meow, meow. And that cat followed me all the way to Colorado and got eaten by a mountain lion. But, you know, you win some, you lose some. Johnny had the best life ever. Lived 8 years. Wouldn't have made it 3 in the hood. Holy sh! You won't make it 3 up in the Midwest. Holy sh! Oh my God. If you live in northern Iowa or southern Minnesota, say it ain't soda. Heads up, central Wisconsin. I like my cheese, but not that cold. So I've been told. Now let's look at these southern snows moving through Arizona. And we're talking about the next 6, 12, 18, 24 hours of powers. Heavy snow moving through all of New Mexico and Arizona, all the way down into, Mexico. Because I don't have to say new. And then it's going to just spike up through Iowa. Heads up, right there. This is a potbelly pig. And that's just 60 hours out. Within the next 2 days, Virginia and West Virginia are going to experience some epic shite. And we're just talking, excuse me, tomorrow night, starting tomorrow night, West Virginia, Virginia boundary. It's a foundry. You better be lighting your wood stove. This is the end game right here. Don't be a queer. Get prepared. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance on this Virginia debacle, which is about to unfold. So I was told. Because of math and the models. Polluted black snow sparks health fears in Siberia. Now, we pointed this out the other night. The shite coming out from strange sounds. The salacious newspaper, which might as well call themselves the National Enquirer. But I digress. Polluted black snow sparks health fears in Siberia. Thank you for watching the channel. Black snowfall hints at man-made ecological disaster in the Siberian region of Kubas. And you can kick my ass, Kubas. I'm no lass. Rare LA megastorm could overwhelm, dam, and flood dozens of cities, experts say. If this guy is an expert, I want another one. I want another opinion. No, I have nothing against that guy. Scientists call it California's another big one, and they say it could cause 3 times as much damage as the major earthquake ripping along the San Andreas Fault. Which is not your fault. It's not you. It's not CO2. It's the sun. Although it might sound absurd to those who still recall 5 years ago withering drought and mandatory water restrictions and global warming and Al Gore the Horg saying blah 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 blah. Well, I have news for you. There are now flames shooting out the mouths of snowmen. They're pissed. And they're coming to get you, Steve. They're coming! This rare megastorm, which some say is rendered all the more inevitable due to climate change, would last for weeks. But we've already predicted that all the valleys in California would flood out because of grand solar minimum predictability. historical records. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with CO2. And it certainly has nothing to do with the sun. But if you want to puff, pass and pack the bowl, maybe the sun has something to do with it. Heads up, son! Is Steve Keeley your son? Heads up, son! In a heavily populated area of LA Basin, epic runoff from the San Gabriel Mountains could rapidly overwhelm a flood control dam, causing insult to injury, killing hundreds of thousands of people instantly. All we need is lots of snow, which we're getting right now. Because this is not an area that people should have ever built homes. That's why the mudslides kill people and the burn scar slides engulf. Oh, black snow falls from the sky in Siberia and it's toxic. Apparently, Brandon Spector is a subscriber to the channel. LiveScience.com. Subscriptionator. Did he subscriptionize? Do these realize? Did he subscriptionate? Are you subscriptionated? Do you need to do a dab? Look. Do you see what you're looking at? Let me show it to you. Let me show it to you. Do you see this? Do you see what's coming out of the ground here? Like swimwear? Do you see it? Do you see this? Can you see it? Can you feel it? Can you taste it? Yeah, because if you live in a city, you can taste it. And if you can see what I'm showing you, then you would wish I was blowing you. .9% of all this shite, none of it is carbon dioxide. None of it. It's a scam. Like ham. You know what I mean? It costs extra to make it smoky and it's mostly nitrates. Tourists exposed to radiation for years at Grand Canyon Museum. I researched this extensively and you're about to get your head is about to blow up. I'm so dedicated to my craft that even though just 3 hours ago my tractor's front axle exploded, which I will share videos in the morning, but I went above and beyond tonight. Now, take a look at this headline. Tourists exposed to radiation for years at Grand Canyon Museum. I was there. And I'm losing hair, claims rogue park official. I believe this guy 100% because wait till you see if you're picking up what I'm putting down, what gets put down here. Now, in a rogue email, a Park Service employee earlier this month, Safety Director Elston Swede Stevenson alleged a cover-up of what he called top management failure. You know what I call that? The life you're living. Yeah. And it's so pathetic that we're about to listen to some amazing music at the end of this video because I finally remembered to remember it. Now, Stevenson claimed that a 5-gallon container filled with uranium ore, including one container that could not close completely because it was too full, was held right behind a display that people walk by all the time for decades. Now, the display and the container was recently removed. There is no current risk to park employees or public, Davis said. The building is open. The information I have is that the rocks were removed. And there is no danger. Just residual radiation. Now, this guy, I give him a double thumbs up because he just ruined his life. But the rocks were there and they did take him out. And you're all safe now. But the rest of us, everyone you know, not so much. Seismic update, no quakes of note. Boom! We love it! We're waiting for a 7 magnitude or greater, which will kick off in the next 7 days. And then a major earthquake, the likes of which you have not seen since the major 8.5 in Mexico, to kick off in the next 2 to 5 weeks, which are, I hate it when you have to wait. It's inevitable. These aren't predictions. These are inevitabilities. Worldwide volcano news update. Sabancaya, Bromo. New volcano to the rip. Bona State eruption. Fuego. 16,000 feet. Ducono. Continuous volcanic ash emissions. Sabancaya. Continuous ash emissions. Karaminsk. Krakatoa. Smoke Ebola. And let's go to K-Vert and see if we can see something happening now. Kamchatka response team. Let's do this. Current aviation color code orange, which is to be expected. I should have a live stream here. Shivaloosh here. Let's do it. Boom! Cloud cover. Nothing showing. I tried. We try to be like spontaneous. Like the modern Eddie minimum will take place over the next 400 years. We're spontaneous like that. Scientists who warned early about climate change, popularized term global warming, just died. He just died like 8 hours ago. I'm sorry to say it. The guy, Wallace Smith Bruca, a fellow scientist and researcher who coined the term back in, I think, 75. We're going to get to that. The scientist who warned early about climate change, popularizing the term global warming, died at 87. Now, the mainstream is picking up on this guy, and they're going to do him no justice. And I will do him justice right now. I'm going to do him justice. He's like my grandfather. Now, let's talk about Michael Mann and his hockey shtick. Republican Senator James Inhofe of Oklahoma, who calls global warming a hoax, including Diamond, repeatedly attacked Penn State University professor's hockey stick graph in 2005. Congressman Joe Barton of Texas ordered Mann to provide the House Committee on Energy and Commerce, which he chaired, with extensive details of his working procedures, computer programs, and past funding, which is not shunning. There are people who believe that if they bring down Michael Mann, they can bring down the IPCC, which has yet to happen, unfortunately. But we're about to have, Dr. Tim Ball on the channel, who just won his case. But he can't talk about it for another 90 days, so we're really hedging our bets right now, even revealing this. But there are people who believe that if they bring down Michael Mann, they can bring down the IPCC. But they're still not down. But we'll talk about it on this channel. Now, Ben Santer of the Lawrence Livermore Laboratory, blah, 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 at the time. Mann's voluble self-confident style did not help matters. The goddamn guy is a slick talker and is super confident. He won't listen to anyone else. One of climate science most senior figures, Wally Broker of the Lamont Doherty Earth Observatory at Columbia in New York, told me. Wally Broker, the dead guy. It should be said that Broker has a reputation of being a cock schmoker, and we love that guy. Not only that, man appeals to unusual authority, the overwhelming scientific consensus. And here are some of the quotes that the overwhelming scientific consensus has to say to man. There is indeed a broad scientific consensus that supports the idea of global warming. But it does not support fake Nobel laureate Michael Mann and his opportunistic pseudoscience. Isn't that awesome? Mann and his work have been called scanty by Professor Mike Hulme, simply unscientific, Professor Tim Osborne, truly pathetic, Mann's original co-author Ray Bradley, obvious drivel, Professor Jonathan Jones, a scientific forgery, Professor Ate Corhola. Cornholia much? Rubbish, Professor Kurt Covey. Worthless, Professor Barry Cook. Orwell's Ministry of Information, Professor William Harper. And then, to highlight, in his eulogy, Professor Wallace Smith Brooker, he claims just plain shitty. Or, in the words of Professor Rob Wilson, a crock of shit. And in the words of Professor Hendrik Tenicus, a disgrace to the profession. Well, those are what some of Michael Mann's colleagues think of him. So we should all probably just smoke a bowl and think about how misinformed we are and how retarded the mainstream is. Oops. It's crazy. The man who invented global warming himself has no idea why microwaving grapes create plumes of plasma. And neither do you. They look like a couple of knockers in the clockers with a little bird singing above. Look at that. It's like a chickadee. Maybe a snowman. Anyway, if you've got a couple of grapes in a microwave, you've probably seen this coming out. Now, if you have two large bodies in close proximity that are filled with water and you excite them with microwave radiation, negative ionization happens here and plasma occurs. It doesn't matter if they're grapes or two balls of water. As long as they're just tippy touching, plasma will shoot out from the center, which is why comets are not dirty snowballs, and asteroids and comets are all the same thing. These are terrestrial rocks in an electrodynamic solar system, which is breaking down from sun to planet to asteroid to human. It's a cycle. It's the cycle of life. But it's really cool to look at. So we might as well look at it. Let's look at it. Let's loop it. Right click. And let's cut my voice out. Do a dab now. That was delicious. Holy macaroni. Snowballs. The plasma, of course, is not the plasma of blood, but the state of matter as in solid, liquid, gas, plasma. That's like gas, but consists of charged or ionized atoms whose electrons have been stripped away from their positively charged nuclei. The result is a swarm of subatomic particles that clash and collide and often emit a roiling and boiling of blobs of light and plasma, like the Spencer thing that cost $9. Now, the question that plagued physicist Aaron Skepkov of Trent University in Canada for 2 decades. That's 20 years, in case you don't know. That's a very advanced math. Slepkov first witnessed the phenomena while surfing a website called Fun with Grapes in 1995. But while the videos and blog spots of microwavable plasma abounded, it seemed there were no rigorous scientific explanations. Well, we got one. A single grape by itself can do the trick, though. In these cases, the energy simply concentrates at the center of 2 very water-rich objects. But if joined by a willing dance partner, the hot spot in each grape gravitates towards each other until the 2 synergize in a blaze of glory. And we call this the blaze of glory, which is the story of the night. Watch the blaze of glory now. Holy shit, I'm lazy. That's crazy. And my eyes are getting hazy. Ultimately, microwaving your way to plasma is actually a pretty flexible feat and will ruin your flexometer or your microwave, which is not a microwave and cost you about $58, you schmuck. I'm sorry. That's hydrogen gel dimmer with plasma in the picture. You can take the schmicture and you can read about it. Now, what's happening here is simply the creation of a negative ion zone between these 2 water-rich objects. The microwaves accumulate here at this flexure, kind of like a Z-pinch, and you get a micronova in your microwave. So if you want to try it at home, just cut a grape and touch it together. It's a tippy touch, just a tippy touch. And if you touch it together, I guarantee you'll destroy your microwave. Couple more things to cover before we schmother. Structured water. Now, the reason I moved to the spaces and the places that we in Graces is because of the structured water. Right outside my door here, 11 miles from the source where the water is created from the source, the Continental Divide, the water is still structured. So if you see the water flow through the river here, it's much thicker than normal water. There's no agriculture, there are no people, there's no humans upstream. It's just coming across the rocks. And the entire waterway is only 11 miles long. Now, up at Oppenheimer Ranch, we're only 7 miles from the source. And the water looks like a horse, of course. If you want to know about structured water, it has increased density, more viscosity, it's more organized, more alkaline, more delicious. And it is the 4th phase of easy water. Refraction index 10% or higher. And my mineralogy instructor's name was George Meyer. I should make a flyer. 5-kilometer asteroid may briefly occult the brightest star in the night sky. And it already happened 52 minutes ago. But if you want to read about it, there's an awesome article, which is not a sharticle. First private Israel lunar mission to be launched this week. Now, these Jewish people are going to the moon. Why do you think that is? There's no people on this. What are they studying? You better get underground. Gas-tight interior door, no echo inside, escape tunnel out the back. If you're not smoking crack, you're putting this in the ground. I have several of these all over. I'll never tell you where they're at. We're talking about Atlas Survival Shelters, Round Culvert. If you don't know what I'm talking about, links will be below. He doesn't know. Has no idea. Not at all. Hope you got something out of the video. If you haven't packed it now, pack it now. Puff, puff, pass. This is your class and a boom to knowledge. Massage it. You have hundreds of years to go. And that's a ho, ho, ho.